you're going to find, unfortunately, some customer, they have everything, but they're not integrated. They're not connected together. So if we want to take a look and see what's happening at the video, if they have video system, they have to go to the video screen to the computer having access to their DVR. Intrusion is something happened, they have to go to a different screen for a different computer sometime. Same for access controls, same for fire panel, and different other system. The idea is it is more efficient. It is way better to have all of those in one simple system. It's what we mean by the integration. To have in one screen, being able to see intelligently what's happening at video level, access control level, intrusion, fire, all in the same platform. And yes, we have that with the Kantech system. What is an unified system? That's what I just explained. It's allowing us to control and administer multiple different platforms in one. Now, Kantech is part of Tyco. Tyco has different division, different department, and the department we're part of is ACVS, Access Control, Video, and Intrusion. And we do have three different brands for access control. We have CAM system, we have Kantech system, and we have software house. Our focus today is Kantech. Our specialty is Kantech. And then we can take a look at video. For video system, we have the American Dynamic platform, we have exacqVision, and we have Illustra. It's actually a separate line also on video. And we have different, as you can see in my screen, but we'll be focusing today on Kantech, American Dynamic, Exact, DSC, and Simplex. Sometime, and even now, we've been working for some time to help everybody to have a better view and better understanding on the Kantech. But that happened. That we have customers still thinking that Kantech is a system for 2-3 doors. But in fact, the Kantech system can manage from 1 door to million of doors. So we have the system really modular. You can have a customer who need today an access control for 3 doors, and 1 year from now they need 300 doors. We don't have to change system. We don't have to switch from Kantech to anything else. We're just going to add what is needed to bring the platform from where it is now to where they want to go. And as for customer, as you can see in my screen, we have diversity of customer from banking, government, school, university, all type of platform, airport. We do all of them. The integrated solution of EntraPass is very cost effective. The first reason of that statement is we don't have any cost for integration with our sister company. What do we mean by that? Once a client has Kantech, if they have DSC, to put both together, to integrate both together, we just need to select, based on the DSC platform they have, a module, and we go. A couple of clicks. We don't need to pay for license for the integration. That same customer, they might have video system with American Dynamic or with Exact, same. Just add the integration to the platform, to this Kantech software. We go to video, integration, IP address, password, we're good to go. Same for the fire panel. So it is instead of having, as we started in the training today, having 3-4 different monitor, 3-4 different computer, each one connected to the specific system, from the EntraPass, which is the name of our application, we can connect to each and all of them at the same time. Now, what are the advantages of using an integrated security system? I'm pretty sure by now we get some answer on that. For the Kantech, we have integration with video solution, integration with intrusion system, integration with fire detection system, with access control system. I mean, we are an access control system. As for controller, we go very simple. We have controller for 1 door, controller for 2 doors, we have controller for 4 doors. With any of those or with all of those together, we can build from 1 door to whatever the customer might need. I like to make joke about that one, especially when we do training, and I say, if you guys, you have a solution who need more door that we can provide, call Jocelyn. I will come for free to do the installation for you. Because as for quantity of doors, this is not even a question. We also especially nowadays, it's very picky on the security. For communication, we have data encryption enabled in all our platform, all our IP module, IP controller, data encryption come included. Our database, we have the database is a Sybase, it's a type of SQL database. We also have what we call, and what as for the installer like a lot, and it's the express setup, is the ability to complete all the controller component setup in a couple of clicks. Door contact, exit button, in and out. You have a screen coming up and you just have a couple of questions. In that controller, what happened? Do you have in and out reader? Do you have door contact? Do you have wax? Click, 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 and OK, and you're all good to go. We have interactive map for easy operation. As I'm pretty sure most of you know, being able to have all the system integrated together is one thing, but being able to use them intelligently, it's another thing. Because sometimes having too much data is as worse than not having at all. And that's a part that we can be proud of. With that integration that we've been talking about, it's a very, very reliable and intelligent integration. Of course, we'll be able to see that in a couple of minutes. Meaning it's not only being able to see what camera from your access control, or to see you have an intrusion alarm, or to see you have an alarm at your fire system, but we can link them together intelligently. Meaning you have a zone in your DSC in alarm, the access control area, we can program to have alarm at the access control, to have siren going off. We can program it to have all the camera in that area pop up automatically for the operator, so they don't need to go and look where and which one. As for reader card, Kantech, we have card, the brand of our reader, it's called IOPROX. We have our special format called XSF, which is where it is 39-bit. It's more secure than a lot of card on the market, and it's included freely. We do have our own, but we use any other reader card compatible, and we'll take a look. We'll be seeing that in a couple of minutes as well. We have mobile and interactive solution, and as before we start, I ask you to take a look in your application store in your phone and look for EntraPass Go, EntraPass Go, and that's to be able to have a practical, to allow you to use the solution in live mode. Now we're going to equipment. So we go in on that part of the presentation. We'll have our equipment in one side, and we'll take a look at the software in another side. So here we have the controller. Yes, here we see 4 controllers. We have KT1, KT1 PCB, which is the same controller but 2 versions, and we have KT315 and KT400. Is it everything we have? No, we have a couple of more controllers. We have KT300, we have KT200, we have KT100. But those controllers we have right now in the screen, those are the day-to-day controller. That's the one we're using the most. That might happen. You have a customer who has a KT200 controller. Don't be surprised. Yes, we have that. And this KT200 right now is about 30 years old. And believe it or not, you can have a customer with that controller and they still can use it today with the EntraPass 2016. And there is not many company who can say that. No, it's... Now, let's focus on the current screen. KT1 or KT1 PCB, they are the same controller, but with a different... One has a application, an additional board for intrusion integration. That's the one on the right. Now, the KT1 controller is a one-door controller, IP-based controller, meaning it has its own IP port. If we need one location, the customer is adding one door, we don't need any IP module. The controller has it all. You just install the controller, connect it to the client network, good to go. That controller manage one door no matter the situation. If the door need one reader to get in, one reader to leave, this controller manage 2 reader. If the door needs, sometime that happen, you have customer telling you yes, based on the requirement of that door, they're going to need a door strike and they need at the same time a maglock. This controller come with both output, one for the maglock, one for the door strike, and it has 4 input available on that controller for any other, like door contact, motion detector, whatever you might think of. Now, the other version, the KT1 PCB, does everything I said, plus it has an external where you can connect directly for DSC integration. For example, IT100, KT4401 for Maxis, or you can do your integration with NeoPanel. Then we have the KT315 controller. This is a 2-door, 2-reader controller. This controller can manage 2 reader, so you can manage 2-door, reader in, exit button out. If you have a 2-door and each one need reader in, reader out, you're going to need 2 of those, or you can use 2 KT1. Then we have the KT400 controller. The KT400 controller, which is the biggest controller we have, this controller manage 4-door up to 8 reader. 4-door, and no matter if the door need reader in, reader out, or reader in, exit button to leave. Now, those are the 3 controller must use in Kantech. As for communication interface, because we have the controller on one side, that's going to manage your reader, the lock, the door contact, the exit button. That's manage the door. Now, between the controller and the software itself, we have the communication interface. Now, based on what type of controller you choose to go with, based on what type of communication the project allows you to go with, You might go with a direct communication, meaning you have the controller and you have a USB adapter. It's a direct adapter is going to be connected directly to the computer, and you have a 485 communication bus going to your controller, your loop of controller. A loop of controller for Kantech can go up to 32 controller. That's if we go direct communication, and same if we go IP. Of course, IP, we have the choice. If we go KT1, we don't need any interface because the KT1 and the KT400, they both come with IP module and in the board. Now, if we go with KT315, we might, if we need to go IP, to use the IP link. That's the equipment that you're seeing here. Now, or you can go with a KT1 as first controller and bridge all the other controller in that loop. So in that case, we don't need any other equipment because the KT1 is at the same time a communication device and a door controller. Now, a focus on the KT1. The KT1, to use it, please notice that we need at least the 6.02 version of the software, because it's a controller about 1 year, 2 years old now, and almost 1 year and a half. So if a customer has an existing EntraPass more than 2 years, we're going to need some upgrade in order to use that controller, because before 2 years that controller didn't exist. So KT1, as I explained before, that's manage your lock, no matter what type of lock, no matter if you need 2 locks, I mean a door strike and a mag lock, and that's manage everything else, including DSC integration if you're using the KT1 PCB. And yes, to that question, pretty sure is going to be coming up soon. Can we use the KT1 in junction with any other controller? Yes, and it's not only the KT1. You can have in the same loop of controller any controller that we have. And we have an introduction for the KT1. Short video. Something we like and everyone else like a lot is the fact that we call this controller one button. We have one button on that controller to do anything we might need, to do the setup, to test the situation, to everything in with one button. So you have a better view on the controller itself. And we're showing you both versions of the controller, the KT1, which can be installed in a wall, and we're showing you the KT1 PCB, that's the other one with the board. This one has to be installed in a cabinet. And this controller, as any of the other controller that we have, can be on the same loop with any other controller, as you can see we're showing in that short video here. Number 1 for end user, number 1 for installers, number 1 for security choice, KT1. Now, as for a quick, this page, a quick overview, this page resumes what we've been saying. Now, adding to what I said before, the KT1 has an IP network port available. The KT1 is for one door, no matter if it's one door with 2 reader, I mean reader in, reader out, or reader in exit button. But also the KT1 is PoE, PoE plus, or direct alimentation with 12 volt DC. This is a PoE device where if you need to, if you want to, you don't need any, that can save you some wiring, some time. You just run one cable to the KT1, and yes, it can energize your door strike and take care of all the power all the power the controller might need. So in my screen right now, you have the EntraPass somewhere, and then you have a switch going. The KT1 goes to that customer network, and that KT1 manage the component of the access control. Door contact, reader, door strike, exit button if we have to. So now, part number, we have to remind you, especially for us in LATAM, all the Latin America and the Caribbean area, that when you order, please make sure that you look for the correct part number, LA. So you can see here you have KT1 LA, KT1M-LA, KT1 PCB-LA. So the first one is the KT1, you know, the regular KT1. The other one, the KT1M-LA, this is the KT1 with the PCB board, the additional board. And it comes with a cabinet. When you order that part, we're sending it with a cabinet. Now that happens. Sometimes you have integrator who build a custom cabinet and do everything. In that case, you can use the part number below, KT1 PCB, and you still see LA. Now, Jocelyn, what is the LA? What that mean for us? The LA mean, number one, you have a better price. Number two, you sure that KT1 will come with, if you order the KT1 or if you order any of the equipment for LATAM with the software, it will come with the LATAM version of our software. Because we'll see that right now we have the software is named EntraPass, the name of our application, and we have an EntraPass for us in Latin America for LATAM, and we have for the rest of the world. Now, it's easy to remember. The software that we have in our widget has one more controller. That's the one called KT315. The KT315 is not available in North America. It's not available in Europe. I mean, anywhere else. And it's we create that for us in LATAM to have a better price, to have a lower cost solution. Please make sure when you order to use the correct part number. Now, KT315. So this is the main reason why we have a EntraPass-LA. That's because of that controller. The KT315 is a controller. If you go on any store in North America, that doesn't exist. This controller is for us in LATAM, Caribbean country, and Latin America. Now, what is the KT315? For people who knows Kantech, this is the equivalent of the KT300 controller. Same board, same everything, except that the KT300 has 8 input on board and the 315 has 4 input on board. That's the difference. Now, the KT315 is a 2-door controller. It can manage 2 independent doors. 1 door on the left, 1 door on the right. What door you want? But 2 doors. Now, if you have 1 door and that 1 door need reader to get in, reader to leave, that's going to use the full KT1 because, I'm sorry, the KT215 because the KT215 can manage 2 reader. Now, I'm pretty sure by now you understand once you have a door in and out. Now we can use the KT1 if we want to, no problem. We can use the KT215, no problem. And we'll see pretty soon that we can use the KT400 as well. Now let's take a practical look on the KT315 controller diagram for 2 doors, for example. So here we have 2 doors, and you can see door 1 has a reader and an exit button. We have a door strike, you know. The controller can manage 2 doors with everything the door need. So we have another door, same reader. Here we have a maglock, and we have door contact, and we have exit button. So In that diagram, we have all the possibilities, because maybe you can have a door with door strike, or you can have a door with maglock. No problem. Either way, and both doors are connected in the same controller, the KT315 controller. Part number, KT315. KT315, that's the part number for the controller. Now, why we don't have LA on that one is because KT215 is only for us. So there is no mistake possible for the KT215. It's naturally for LATAM. And now you might need more relay, you might need more input, you might need output. We have expansion module for that. Practical example, we manage in Kantech, we can do elevator control, manage elevator control up to 64 floor. Now, these will be done with one controller, no matter if it's 20 floor or 50 floors, but we'll use module for that. Maybe output module or relay module, depending on what the integrator chooses to go with. So we do have module for that. And we usually have a keypad is really look like the Maxis one, but this one is, as you can see, KT3 LCD. This is a LCD time and date display. That's being used a lot when we do time and an attendance solution. You know, the Kantech has a time and attendance built into it. So if a customer has Kantech, it automatically can enable and track the employees' time, you know, how many hours they work in a day, without any license. It's built in the solution. Now, of course, when the user going to swipe, usually they want to know what time it is. I mean, they know what time it is, but sometimes the time and attendance is a different time than the time. So these will show the exact time of the controller of the reader at the door. When they swipe, they can see, all right, I start my day at 9:00. So we do have module for the KT315. Now we're switching to the KT400 controller. KT400 controller, okay? As we said before, this is the biggest controller that we have. And it's not only because it's managing 4 doors. More than that, the KT400 controller, my friend, with input, output, relay board, depending on what you need, can go up to 256 components. Let's go with an example. We had a project in Barbados, and they had a data center. They actually need 3 doors. They have 3 doors they need on the access control, but they needed 160 something input supervised, because they have cabinet, they have rack, anything the customer they want. If they open, I think, a window, they want to know. If they open a drawer, they want to know. Now, this integrator was planning to use KT300, and each KT300 with input board can go 16 input, etc., etc. And we said, my friend, this can be done easily with one KT400 that can manage 4 doors, so more than they need. They needed 3 doors. And we can use input board, and each input board in the KT400 manage 16 input, and they have enough. So one controller, and about, if I recall perfectly, it was 13 input board to have the 100 and to the quantity they needed. And so the KT400, it's a 4-door controller with an in, exit button out. And if you use the Kantech reader, you can have 4 doors. Each door can have 1 reader to get in, 1 reader to get out. If you use any other reader, that's 4 doors, reader in, reader out, or 2 doors in and out. And the KT400 has in this network port on the board. You can also do DSC, intrusion integration directly on the board, and it's compatible with any, as we said already, any other controller. So in the same loop, you have a KT400, and you can have KT315, KT300, any other controller. Here in my diagram, you can have a look on the doors situation. We have one KT400 and we have 4-door with the in, with the out. Pretty sure it's very clear already. Now, please take a look on the bottom right, only with IOPROX reader. In order for you to do that setup, you need to use IOPROX XSF reader, included anyway in the kit. Now, we have 4 physical doors here, but logical, it's about 8 doors. You have one, the side to in, the side out, stuff like that. And communication loop, here we have the computer with the software. We have KT1, KT1, KT315, KT400, all in the same loop as we explained before. Part number, we have KT400LA, we have input board, output board, relay board. Please notice that we have KT-400LA. This is the same controller. This is not, we don't have a KT400 for LATAM, a KT400 for anybody anywhere else. It's the same controller, but as we said, we have a different part number, different application. So please remember that when you go into order. We also have a telephone entry system. You know, a telephone entry system, you get to a building, you need to look for your friend, you look for the name, you call that person press a button, unlock the door for you. That's a telephone entry system. Now, what the telephone entry system of Kantech does more than others. Number one, the telephone entry system, the KTES, which is the name of that, is allow you to have an external reader. If I'm living in the building, I don't need to go to that device every time I'm going to my apartment. I can just swipe a card and I'm in. I can use that independently of, you know, by itself, or I can use it in conjunction with an Kantech access control together, like an additional controller. These come with included 250 apartment. Each apartment, you have the option to use 2 different numbers. Meaning if I die, if I call my friend, is busy on the line, it will switch and call the second number. Very practical. I recall it was -30 and a couple of months here, and we don't want to be stuck outside because somebody is on the phone. And these multi-languages, the client can switch and choose the language they want to. These KTES, you connect to the line and it's dialing directly the customer line, or it has an option called no phone bill. It's a device, additional device to allow you to install parallel to the building system, so it's not using the external line to call the apartment. And a lot of more options in that. Very practical. Card and reader. We have, as you can see in my screen, a couple of model of reader. So let's see. First, we have the regular proximity reader, and we have the one with keypad. So let's see it that way. You have the long range one, the big one, P600. You're not going to remember the number, so let's go with what it does. You have the P600, which is a long range reader that's allow you to install, for example, in some driveway where the client they don't have to stick their hand too far, too close to the reader. And we have the regular prox reader. You have P225 XSF and P225 W26. Why is that? We do have proprietary format called XSF, which is in reality 39-bit format. But we do have a 26-bit available sometime. For example, client might have an existing time and attendance system, and we're going to install Kantech, so we don't want we want them to be able to use both without any headache. So we can install everything with XSF, and the current time and attendance system, we install two with the XSF W26-bit. So the user will use the same card to clock in the time and attendance, and the same card to enter in the access control. Any other door, regular door, we're going to use the XSF, which is more secure than the 26-bit. Now we have we have the big one for long range, and we have single GAN, and we have double GAN. It's just a matter of size based on where we're going to install it. But it's the same reader having the same function. Then you have the reader and keypad. You see the part number has KP for keypad. Now that allows us to do an installation and to install that at the door where the user might, based on what the customer needs. Of course, we can enable that door for reader card only, or pin only, or reader and card and pin, and we can put them on a timer if we want to. So that can be 24/7, or sometime, depending on the building, they're telling you, all right, during the business hours, just normal procs, and they can get in. And they're telling you after business hours, we need the user to use the card and the pin and stuff like that. So it's everything there. Now, as for card, you have the tag with a strong adhesive. Sometimes it's, things happen. The client, they have existing ID, and they're telling you, we don't want one more card. No problem. We can use the tag and stick it to the existing ID, and here we go. You have a prox card. You have the key. You put it on your car key usually, and you have the regular prox card. Just be aware that we have the one can be printed on and the one you cannot. So the P10 cannot be printed, and the two other one, if you want to use them as to print the ID on a printer, good to go. Biometric reader. Yes, we do have biometric. We don't manufacture biometric, but we have Morpho who actually make those. And why we do have that in the screen, we want to avoid any confusion. That doesn't mean you can only use those. You can use any reader you want. Iris reader, biometric reader, proximity reader, as long as it's compatible. And compatible for us means it's a WIGAN output. Now, why we do have those is because those come with, we have some model of those reader who come with IOProx proximity reader included to them. Meaning the customer has or you have a new project and they have a couple of doors where they want fingerprint. No problem. We can use those reader, and if the customer wants fingerprint and card, they can use the IOProx card, the Kantech card. So we have different models there, and they some got XSF, the Kantech more advanced format, 39-bit. Some has the 26-bit of Kantech card, and so on. So we do have biometric. We partner with Morpho, L1, and they have those manufacturers ready to go for us. Yes, we have wireless reader. First, just to remind you, this is the one on the right where you see my mouse. This is the reader. It's going to be connected as any reader. It go up to 45 meters or 150 feet, and the transmitter itself work as a card. In fact, that's a card just going wirelessly. When the client press the button and the reader receive the information, open the gate, open the door, depending on where you install it, that send a card number to the application. All right, so we have, as we said before, we use any reader compatible. First, of course, as an example, we have a friend HID, and we have the reader, and we have a lot of HID driver already built in and ready to go in our application. Just make the selection and test. Works. We have the infrared detection device. This is not a motion detector. This is a very, very good equipment, and it's been fabricated a way that you can direct the beam where you want to have a more narrow and a more precise reading. You know, sometimes some device you just walking by and they click the door. So those you can install them as precise that you need, that you want to. Card printer. As you can see in my screen, we have an example of model. But of course, as we said for the reader, you can use any card printer you want. We have some ready to go in the part list if you want to, but any card reader you want. Now, the software itself is built in with a module to design your card. So if you want to print your card, if you want to design the card, you don't need any other application to design the card. You can design directly in the application and print them directly to your badge printer. All right, very, very useful. We're switching to, yes, thank you for the note. Somebody sent me a text saying that I need to go faster. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Software. Now we're getting to software. So we're pretty much done with the equipment part. Now the software, our software name is EntraPass. We have 3 different levels of EntraPass. Now, the EntraPass allowing to supervise, manage your access control system, and manage your integration. In my screen here, we have, let's say in the middle, we have EntraPass. And let's take an example. We have EntraPass Corporate. In the corporate, you have the EntraPass Go, which is the mobile. You have the EntraPass Web, which is a web platform, which is an EntraPass delivered to the web. We have integration with Illustra. We have integration of Make and Dynamic, and integration with our friend Simplex, DSC, and of course, the basic use of EntraPass is managing the controller and the door and the access control. So, speeding up, EntraPass Special Edition, that's the basic of our solution. This doesn't need any training, doesn't need any certification. You go to a store, you buy EntraPass Special Edition, you install that in one computer, please, one computer, and you can use up to 64 controllers. We don't have any limitation on operator. We don't have any limitation on user. What that mean? You have a customer who has 10 users, you have another one who has 1,000 of users. For us, doesn't matter. it's no limitation. Now, as for operator, you know, sometimes customer, and it's better like that. Each person can have their own login, you know, their own profile, so that allow you to know who did what. If some change has been made, you can go in the report and see, all right, this change has been made yesterday at 2 p.m. and yesterday at 1:45, Fernando was connected. Let's get to Fernando to find out what happened. So we don't have limitation on operator, no limitation on user. Now, 64 controller, based on which controller you choose to go with, that means that you can have the basic can go up to 256 doors. If I go with KT400, 64 by 4, 256 doors. Now, the next one is Corporate Edition. It's the more used system that we have, and it's recommended one because the corporate Differently from the Special don't have the web platform. As you can see in my screen here, you see the Special edition. You see you can have printer, integration with DSC, video, the telephone entry system, no problem. But no web, no mobile. Here, differently, in the corporate, we have everything. So the corporate is a multi-workstation platform. Let's say it's a server and workstation system. You have the server installed, and then you can have remote workstation up to 20 workstation. It comes included with 2, but you can have as many the customer might need. All right, and it comes with the EntraPass Web and the EntraPass Go ready. You just install them, enable them, and your client can use the web or can use his phone to manage the system. Very useful, and they like it a lot. We like it a lot. I do have it here also. We have the mobile application. Seeing is believing. We're going to make sure that you're seeing it and you play with it yourself directly. But yes, we do have the mobile application available with the corporate edition. So let me go back a moment. Corporate edition, it's a server client system. It comes included with 2 remote workstation right away, 1 web and mobile, and all the integration we spoke about before in the presentation. Now, my friend, a quick look. You go up to 20 workstation. You can go up to, need to correct that, sorry about that. We can go up to 250 web connection. Not 50, I think the 2 just fly, but 250. Now, these, let me take a couple of seconds on that. Workstation is a PC where you install the software. Once you install it, now if the client need to make changes or to do something, need to go to that station. Yes, it can be installed in a different, but you need, to run an application and install it. The web station, it's an application. It's not a web page application. It's an application installed from the web. Let's say, for example, somebody send you a documentation and you need PDF. You go download the PDF and then that's it. You don't need to go every time to download it. You just do it once. So it's the same for the EntraPass Web. We go on the website based on the server setup and you download the component and you install it. But after you install it, you're good to go. It's an application installed from the web. What is the main difference between that and the workstation? The workstation is, fixed on a computer, but the web station, the customer might have 1 license, but they install it in 10 computers and 1,000 computers, but 1 person can connect at the same time. So the web and the mobile is a concurrent situation. And then with the corporate, we can send automatic emails. For example, that happened quite a lot. Customer tell you, listen, my friend, that door, that warehouse door, we want it. If somebody enter, swipe after midnight, no matter who it is, we want the security manager to receive an email with the name, the time, and all the information possible. Yeah, no problem. It's a matter of a couple of click configuration, and we're good to go. So the EntraPass Corporate come with the web included, mobile included. You have also not included but available integration SQL bridge. That happen a lot. That you have customer. They have, for example, we have some school, some hospital, airport where they're telling you, listen, my friend, we don't want every time to go to the EntraPass to create user or to delete user while we have a human resources system. We want to do, if we make a change at the human resources solution, automatically to update to the Kantech. Can that be done? Of course. We just enable that license, and that will create a bridge between the 2 databases. The Kantech database for the user card and whatever database the customer has to SQL. So if they create a new user, it automatically created in the Kantech and vice versa. Do we have Active Directory integration? Yes, we do. You know, you go to the workstation, you start the computer, you log in Windows, and you automatically log in the EntraPass. Do we have redundancy? Yes. We have quite a lot, but of course it's a quick presentation, and I have on 2 texts already, so let's go faster. The next EntraPass is called Global Edition. This is the biggest EntraPass that we have, and it's not global for nothing. It's really, the name is really wide. This has a lot of options. For example, it has access and area, global anti-passback, guard tool. Let's make a quick example to help you understand. Let's say, for example, we have in a bank, and they're telling you on the money part of the room where we have the money, nobody if they have access, someone to enter here, they need to a supervisor with level 10. So you go there, you swipe, and you have access denied. If supervisor level 1 comes swipe with you, I'm sorry, you need a specific level. So this, you will need global edition to do that. Or you need, there is some type of some school, for example, they're telling you, listen, we have access control at the school, the student, they all has card, but we want for a student to be able to enter the room, a teacher need to be inside prior any student to get in the room. So, and you need global. Global, it's a couple of clicks, you said, all right, which type of user, teacher, and in the room you need 1 teacher before anybody else can enter. Global can do that. You have some area, for example, you cannot leave that area empty. No, I mean, if for example, that same example we talked before, the teacher and the student, in order for the teacher to leave the room, they need to have an helper there. So he will swipe, he will have access denied, he cannot leave, he need to call an helper to say, hey, please come over. So after the helper come, now it's allowing the teacher to leave. So those, you need global and a lot of more options, including what we call the database access. Sometimes customer telling you, oh, yeah, we need access to the database, we need to import event to do other stuff. No problem, we have that available. It's included in the global. That's called database access, that give 100% read access to the database. 100% read only, meaning you can get all the information you need. You cannot enter information. We don't want anybody to go to sleep and wake up no database because the client messed up the database. So our database is locked, but you're able to, with the global edition, to get all the information you need to run your report or kind of other report, because we do have report built in. But sometimes customers, they want to bring the data to another platform. You can do that with the global. Now, an overview on the global. Differently from the corporate, will allow you to go up to 20 workstation and 50 web station. That me mistaking before, not the documentation. The global allow you to go up to 128 workstation and 20 web, and you have multiple other option included, and you have multiple other option available. As you can see in my screen, it's pretty much the same. You have integration with everybody. I mean, video, intrusion, fire, and so on. Trying to speed up. Access control kit. Guys, we managed to get that very simple. We have starter kit, expansion kit, door kit. Starter kit is the controller with software, with reader, and accessories. So what is the starter kit? If you're going to have a project and you're going to install, if it's a new customer, meaning they don't have anything, you go with one starter kit, meaning you will have the software, you will have a controller, reader, and then you will go with expansion kit, which is the controller, reader, and accessories, depending on the quantity of those that you want. You know, for example, here we have an example of starter kit. KT215 starter kit. You have the EntraPass Special Edition. You have the KT215. These one come with a USB 485 for direct communication. You have 2 reader and 50 cards. You know, it's what do we miss here? We don't have the lock. We don't have the cable. We cannot be sure what type of lock you need. So, but here you have everything you need for 2 doors. Now, if the customer has a 10 doors project, we have one of those, and we go with expansion for the other one. An example of expansion, you have the controller, the reader, because you're expanding the door. Now you don't need the software anymore, and you might not need card either. Okay, now we're trying to speed up. We get to the INTEVO. The INTEVO is a very, very nice platform, and it's a built-in, you know, it's a combined solution. What is the INTEVO? It's a video platform, access control platform, all in one. So you have the equipment. In my screen, you see a small one and a big one. The small one is what we call the INTEVO Compact. The big one is the INTEVO Advance. They both come with ready-to-go exacqVision install. They both come with EntraPass Corporate Edition install. Now, since it's corporate, you have the EntraPass Go, you have the EntraPass Web, and you can do all the integration, you know, and it's come also with a built-in DVR, which is exact, so you already have physically the integration also in the box. Now let's take a look. The left compact, it comes with the EntraPass, depending on, so if we buy an INTEVO now, it will come with the 605 because we had 605. Now it comes with exacqVision. You have EntraPass Web, EntraPass Go. The small one allows you to have 16 IP camera. The advanced one allows you to have 32 IP camera. Now, of course, exacqVision, normally you have exact with IP, you have exact with analog camera, but the exact in the INTEVO, it's only IP camera. Intrusion integration, very simple. You have in one side the Kantech, you have the other side the DSC, the intrusion panel, and in the middle you're going to have the module. Oh, sorry about that. And what we like a lot is the virtual keypad. In the case of the Power Series and the Maxis, we have the ability to call up the keypad directly in the screen, which means either client and user, integrator, programmer, if you need the keypad, you don't need to go and look for it, to work for it on the wall and do what. No, you just sit on your computer, you call the keypad, and everything you can do on the keypad physically, you can do it on the keypad virtual one. Put it on programming mode, do your stuff, everything. Very practical. Now we have DSC, the module, depending on which one, and you have the controller. You can do the integration directly to the controller, KT1 PCB or KT400, or directly to the computer running EntraPass. So here we have both examples, DSC, the module, either through the KT400 or the KT1, or directly to the computer. You don't need license for that. All you need is the correct module, which you can take a look at the part list and you buy. If it's Power Series, you buy the KT4 4401. If it's the Maxis, you buy 4401. If it's Power Series, you buy the IT100. Will come with everything you need. Yes, we also have the Neo integration available. Neo integration, and the Neo, you have it. You can do the integration directly with serial connection, or you can do it IP. As you can see in my screen, it can be done same principle, directly to the controller, KT1 or KT400, or directly to the EntraPass. It's very, very good. Yes, we do have the integration ready for Neo. We are working on the virtual keypad because we do have virtual keypad for Power 30 and Maxis, but we don't have the Neo virtual keypad yet, but it's coming very soon. Integration with Exact. It doesn't matter which EntraPass, Special Edition, Corporate Edition, Global Edition, even a demo version. You just run the solution, and then you build your integration with a couple of clicks. All you need is the IP address of the DVR, what is the username and password. That's it. With those two information, you have your system integrated. And again, as I mentioned before, we're not talking about a window to see what happened at the camera. It's an intelligent integration where we can link, map, and build trigger. If something happened at the access control and you want to see right away without having to look which camera, it's just a matter of programming. In the Kantech software directly, you can call up all the camera of the DVR, all the camera of the DVRs, because you can go up to 128 different DVR on one EntraPass. If you need more, with Global, we have license to give you multiple 128 DVR. I'm not talking about cameras, different DVRs. For example, we've been working on a project with 400 different locations. Each one has DVRs, so that's we use Global Edition and multiple license, and we get as many DVR we want to. Very, very useful. And it's a congratulations to the Exact team also. They did a very, very good job. On the Exact size, I'm sorry, on the Exact side, and we do also have the option to to call up Kantech. Meaning, on the Kantech, it's a Kantech presentation. We can call up Exact and see and manage a DVR, manage a camera. But Exact team did the same. So on the Exact, they can call up the doors, meaning I can be on my Exact screen, and if I need to open a door, click unlock. Very, very good. I suggest you to take a look at it. Integration with CCTV. That's what we've been doing for some time now. You have the Exact client, very practical, and Exact also they have web application, mobile application where you can independently call up and manage your Exact platform. exacqVision, a quick overview, guys. These doesn't matter which camera, I'm pretty sure you will find that in their list. They integrated. Last time I checked, they had 1,800 different camera available. A model number, I mean, available. I'm pretty sure that they have more now. Mr. Fernando will help us on that very soon. A quick overview on the Exact. Now let's do it right. Sorry guys who've been texting me, but we're getting there. So we have the LC series, Linux, 16 IP, 16 analog, and that goes to 4 terabyte. We have ELP series, still Linux, 16 or 24 IP, 16 analog, and that goes to 8 terabyte. And the OS is on a SSD drive, to make it faster. And then you have the A series, that can be a Windows platform or Linux, 64 IP camera, 64 analog, 32 terabyte. You have the Z series. These can go up to 128 IP camera, 64 analog, and 120 terabyte, and so on. I'm pretty sure we can organize for you an overview on the Exact. We'll give you a better understanding, but for today, that's the overview. And once we go hardware, guys, these come with 3-year update included. 3-year warranty and 3-year update. Of course, here we're seeing the equipment, but the Exact it's also available software-wise, meaning you might go with the software solution and you install your software in your own computer, no problem. This is there and available. But I suggest you to take a look at the equipment. This very, very reliable equipment, very good. These, I don't know how many very you have to say because they're very, very, very good. Those DVRs. Okay, we're getting there. Of course, now we have everything. Integration with intrusion. We have integration with exact in there. Cameras. You have the web platform. You have the EntraPass Go. We try to fit everything and telling you, for an example, corporate edition, EntraPass Web, EntraPass Go, server workstation, exact integration, and all the other integration we spoke about. Last step for this presentation is the Fire panel. We do have integration with Simplex Fire panel, and this integration is as the intrusion. You can have all the event of Simplex. You also have a virtual keypad showing you whatever happened in the virtual keypad, meaning if you are, it's like you are standing in front of the Simplex device. Now for regulation of the fire world, we cannot make changes as the Simplex from another system or any other fire panel either. It's the same. That's the rules in firewall. Now, in the opposite way, we can do anything we want. Meaning, with everything happening in the Simplex, we have all the event coming. So if we have an alarm on a Simplex zone, if something is happening, we can use those information to pop up camera, to an alarm, to lock door, unlock door. We can do all of those. Okay, and centralized diagram. I'm sure by now this is clear to everybody that we can have the server somewhere, no matter where the location are, we can have everything going to a station. So let's say you have a monitoring room where you have the guard supervising everything. Yep. No matter what location, we can centralize everything where actively, intelligently, we can connect video, alarm, fire panel, access control, everything else. EntraPass Web. EntraPass Web, we're going to take a quick look practically where each one of us will be able to connect and practice with the solution. But quickly, the EntraPass Web allows us to resume, to make an overview on the system, to help no matter who is the end user, the integrator, the installer. So what we did, if the end user, they can just go in operation and they have, you know, user card, map, event, door, intrusion, everything. If it's the integrator doing the programming, they go in configuration and they have, if it's the technician, they go to hardware setup. So that solution allows us to rethink the platform, rethink the interface. Because in Kantech, we have a rule, we keep, no matter if somebody used Kantech 5 years ago and they come today to use EntraPass, they will not get lost because it's the same interface. We make sure, you know, it has more option with time, but it's the same interface. Now, when we did the EntraPass Web, we had an opportunity. It's new. So we use the experience that we have and we fit it on that solution. Very, very practical. Very practical. And if you have video integration, intrusion integration, you can control them directly in the EntraPass Web. Mapping design in the EntraPass Web. You can change card, delete card, add card. You can do all in the EntraPass Web. So we're in the EntraPass Web right now. EntraPass Go, that's the one you have, I'm pretty sure, I hope, that you have in your phone right now waiting for us. In your phone right now, you pretty soon you will be able to log in our demo system And it's a real system that we have here in Montreal. We have one for LATAM, one for North America. It's just to allow to switch in English, French, and Spanish if needed. But live equipment, video, you can see video, you can unlock door, lock door, create user, very practical. We'll be able to take a look in a couple of seconds. Now, that was pretty much all for the presentation. As my last show question, let's go with question. Uh-oh, we have question. Okay. Yes. Someone told me that my time is up.
Anybody have question for Jocelyn? You can write me so we can send the questions to Jocelyn. It seems to be clear. That's a great presentation, Jocelyn. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, since I send you a link, let me close that with the link, please. Once you install the EntraPass Web, you can use EntraWeb for username, EntraWeb for password, or Annixter username, Annixter for password. Now, in the mobile one, I'm sending you the login is the same. Now, it's just what you need is to know once you install the mobile, on the bottom there is a button saying demo. It's very simple. There is a button saying demo. You click on that button saying demo, it will automatically generate all the logging information for you. And you can run all your tests, play with the application, and there is no better teacher than practice. That will allow you to practice and to see how the system works. All right, and I thank you very much for text. The last text say I need to practice to short out the presentation to make it shorter. Yes.
That's okay, Jocelyn. Thank you very much. Thank you, Fernando.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Jocelyn.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.